this is the boring side of me. This is the fan side of me as well, where this is kind of how I've been wired as a Laker fan since I was a kid, because the Lakers kind of set this standard that, it's about winning first. Everything else comes after. I thought last night it wasn't just about Luka being a Los Angeles Laker. It was about Luka being a Los Angeles Laker and the Lakers blowing another team out. That there wasn't this, yes, was the attention on Luka? Were people focused on Luka? Sure, absolutely they were. Lakers played good basketball game. Lakers had 7 guys scoring double figures. Lakers had Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, go down the list, Gabe Vincent. You had a number of different players continuing to contribute for the Lakers. So for me, it was kind of this perfect combination. You got to see Luka for the first time. Don't pay any attention to Luka's stats. So I'll tell you guys that right out the gate. Luka was not good yesterday. He wasn't good. I think 1 of 7 from the 3-point line, 5 of 14 from the field, wasn't efficient, is trying to kind of ease his way back in. He's on a little bit of a minutes restriction for now. We'll see when that eventually gets lifted, probably after the All-Star break, or maybe a few games after the All-Star break, whenever it is. Luka wasn't good yesterday. It didn't matter. The team was good. Luka's slowly going to work his way back. He hasn't played since Christmas. And eventually, I think when the dust settles, you're going to eventually get the Luka Doncic that we're all accustomed to, that we've watched, and is only 25 years old and has a chance to be a Laker legend, and go down the list of all these other great accolades that we can talk about when it comes to Luka. That part's going to come, but that part doesn't matter right now. But the thing that does matter to me is I'm watching a team, and I don't want this to get lost, because I think it's so easy right now to not pay attention to what the Lakers are doing and their consistent winning over the course of this last, you could probably almost call it 30 days. I want to look here. Let me actually see something here. I had put this in some of my notes, but I want to see. I know this about the Lakers. I know of all the teams in the NBA right now, the Lakers are the hottest team in the league. Okay. Since the LA Fires that postponed 2 games for the Lakers. So this has been about 30 straight days of great basketball from the Lakers. That's a big sample size. 30 days is a long sample size. 14 games. They've won 12 of their last 14 games. That's almost, you're closing in on about 15% of the season. That's how long this stretch has been. But let me kind of point this out here real quick. The first game they played after the 2 games were postponed for the Fires here in Los Angeles, they got blown out by the San Antonio Spurs. Since then, wins against Miami, Brooklyn, Washington, Boston, Golden State, Charlotte, Washington, New York, LA, the Clippers, Golden State, Indiana, and Utah. 2 losses. 1 against the Clippers, 1 against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's when AD left in the middle of that game, and they got blown out. 12 of 14. With all the chaos that's gone on over these last couple of weeks, with Anthony Davis before he got traded going down with his injury, with all the different rotations and all that stuff going on, with this latest one going on, Lakers made a trade, they didn't make a trade, they're not getting this player. One thing has been consistent. They keep winning. That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. There was an article, and I want to jump into this article real quick because I like the idea and I like the concept of it. I'm going to share it here with you guys as well so you guys can look at it as well. Then we could look at it together and we could hold hands and sing Kumbaya. You know what I mean? Do me a favor here real quick. All right, let me share this. Get this here. Let me make my face a little bigger because I know a lot of people tell me, hey, Slee, face is not big. We want to be able to see Slee more. I got you guys. Don't worry. All my DMs, people are just like, Slee, more Slee. All right. Let me show you guys this article, okay? NBA Power Rankings. How good are the Lakers and a roster reset for all 30 teams? So really, really good article. I love the way they did this, the way they broke it down. I want you guys to look here how they broke it down, okay? They got 2, 4, 5 different groups in the NBA right now. Top contenders, in a good place, the bubble, not the tier to fear, and the basement floor. Okay. Maybe some people agree, disagree with this. Top tier contenders, tier one contenders right now, according to The Athletic. All right. OKC, Cleveland, Boston, Memphis, and the New York Knicks are in their top five. True contenders to actually win it all. That's their top five. They don't got Lakers in that tier one. Okay. I don't have an issue with this, by the way. I kind of see where they're going with this. I can make an argument and say, you know what? What would the Lakers and the Knicks look like? What would the Lakers and the Grizzlies look like? But let's just kind of roll with what they're saying here. Tier two in a good place. The Denver Nuggets at number 6. Here come the Lakers at number 7. So right now, the Athletic in these tiers has the Lakers as they're in a good place. They're not saying they're going to compete for an NBA championship. They're not saying that they're the favorite to win an NBA championship. But I think what they're saying is, hey, where they're positioned right now, they're in a solid spot. Maybe you could only get better from here. I thought this was interesting. I'm going to read this out here. After getting outscored by 101 points through January 14th, the Lakers have the league's best record, 12-2, while outscoring foes by 154 points, second only to the Oklahoma City Thunder. By the way, looks like there's only two teams in this tier 2 in a good place. So listen, that's a compliment. I mean, some people might go, "What the hell? We got a chance to win it all." I think they're in a good position in that spot. I saw a tweet, or I told you guys a message on YouTube. Here's the message that was on YouTube that I want to read here real quick. Matthew on YouTube last night. By the way, there was a dude in the middle of the Lakers game yesterday. Comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder. Sliwa, I'm a member. Christian, shout out to Christian, who's obviously subscribed to the channel. Nice enough to come up during the game and say hello. I think it was right before the game started. And there's also a member. So shout out to you, Christian. I appreciate you very much. All right, let's keep going here. So here's what the message said on YouTube. Matthew on YouTube last night. Many people are underestimating this team dangerous in the playoffs. Can I ask Laker fans this question? How dangerous can they be? Like I genuinely don't know. I think I usually am more cautious about things. I'm not usually coming out and saying, Lakers are the team to beat, or they're the most dangerous. They may be. Can they actually compete for a championship? Because I never thought this year was going to be the year when they traded for Luka that they can really truly compete for a chip. Then they go out and trade for Mark Williams, and for a quick second you're like, okay, well, this is interesting now. You got a big. You didn't have a big before. Yeah, you gave up some assets for it, but you know what? It makes sense timing wise. They're all in. They're trying to win. They're trying to see as much noise as they can make this year, knowing that in the summer they can make changes based off of that. Okay, Mark Williams trade gets rescinded, so now you're back to no real size. You got Jackson Hayes there. You got some other guys that maybe you can use in and out. They're going to obviously be active on the buyout market. I saw an article yesterday about Alex Lynn. How dangerous are they? Like, I don't have the answer to this. I think they could be a real headache in the playoffs. All right, what if they take on a team that actually has true size? If they went up against Denver in a 7-game set, you like your chances? If they went up against Memphis in a 7-game set, you like your chances? They're the hottest team in the NBA right now. They are. Like, literally the hottest team. Go look at any other team in the NBA. There's only one team that's won 9 of their last 10 games, 12 of 14. It's the Lakers. Best team right now in the league as far as how they're playing. And they're playing this type of basketball without really having anything consistent. None of the guys in the rotation have been consistent. There's nothing consistent about this team. So I kind of find it fascinating to see where they are. Last night was cool about Luka. Obviously, the vibe, like I was mentioning, but I think once I look past all of that, I'm watching a team making absolutely no excuses every single night and balling out. You guys saw that the stat that I showed you from the Athletic. There's only one other team out there with this differential as the Lakers have, and it's they're outscoring opponents over the last 14 games by 154 points, second only to the Thunder. They're not just beating teams, barely beating teams. They're crushing teams. And I got to imagine they're only going to get better. I got to imagine Luka's going to eventually be Luka. They'll have a better idea of rotations and everything else. Let me ask you this. I was doing, I don't know if you got a chance to hear it. I was doing, the Athletic was putting kind of like the top 5 teams in the league. And then they had this second tier that only had 2 teams in there. It was Denver and the Lakers, who are both fighting right now for kind of that 3-4 spot in the Western Conference. I don't think there's a way for us to predict this. I'm just getting your opinion on it. Are Lakers, are they legit? Are they just on a really good stretch right now? Are they like, do you see them as that's a team that can 100% come out of the West? I still have my hesitation, but they're also the hottest team in the NBA. They're doing this. They've done this all without Luka. How are you looking at this team as far as an actual contender?
I think that's probably fair right now because we haven't really got to see them play together. Then I think a lot of that goes into the fact that the Lakers have been playing good ball before this. People just want to talk about the Luka making this all happen. The Lakers winning all these games has allowed them a lot of leeway for LeBron and Luka to kind of play together and gel. I think Oklahoma City's obviously earned that respect. They've been the number 1 team in the Western Conference, but there still is questions there. We haven't seen them advance past the second round.
I think people have. I think that's probably why. I think it's because, like, let me tell you the teams in front of the Lakers, okay? A lot of this has to do with, well, what have you done? And I'm not telling you that the Thunder are not amazing, because they probably are. But you have a little hesitation to say, well, until they get to the NBA Finals, like, why am I just saying they just have a free pass to get there? Let me play the other teams out here for a quick second. Is Memphis seem like a team that's, hey, no one can beat them? No, I don't think they are. No. So I think part of it, like, I would look at Denver as more dangerous because I've seen them do it before, and they got Jokic. And maybe OKC's on a different front, but you always have this hesitation when a team has Cleveland, badass team. Right. Are you surprised if Cleveland loses, I'm not surprised.
That's why people kind of do that with Cleveland. They go, well, Boston, yeah, they're the 1 seed, but they Boston's really the favorite, and there's New York sitting there as well. No one really does with Oklahoma City. And I'm not saying Oklahoma City could easily win the NBA championship and sit here and eat crow, but Oklahoma City hasn't done it before. Denver, I agree with you, earns that respect because they have got the Lakers the last 2 years. Now, this will be a different-looking Laker team. I like what you said earlier about AD kind of couldn't stop Jokic anyway, so maybe let's just try to go small ball and try to outshoot him. But I think it's fair right now to be. I think they're 6th in the favorite for winning the NBA championship. But I think they're easily 3rd in the West. I mean, the Rockets are kind of in a free fall. They've lost 6 to 7. I don't know that I trust Dallas if they're gonna, because they're gonna have to be fighting kind of like the Lakers did to get in with, especially with all these injuries.
Health. Their problem. I really like that team if they're healthy. The chances of them being healthy, I mean, we'll see what happens, but they're going to obviously have to have everybody there if they're going to really make noise.
Yeah, and people are saying in the comments right now, like, Denver does not have a good defense. I mean, Denver, like, this is not the same Denver team that had Bruce Brown and a lot
KCP.
of KCP. A lot of these guys that came off the bench and were just lethal and really killed the Lakers in that, free agency and the big contracts to Porter and Murray and Jokic have kind of thinned out that team a little bit. Christian Brown used to come off the bench. Now he's a starter. So they're pretty thin. I think the Lakers are much deeper at the guard spot. It would all just come down to, can they have someone guard Jokic?
Okay, well, I will say this. I think here's the problem with, like, I hear people saying Lakers have Memphis's number. Or if people are saying Denver has the Lakers number. Guys, it's a completely different team.
Right.
So I think you can't – here's the problem with trying to take what has happened over these last couple of years. That squad's – it's not the same team. If I have a foundational piece of Anthony Davis and AD is now gone and Luka's a part of the Lakers – you got to throw out whatever it's been in the. Let me give you an example. Let's use Memphis as an example.
Yeah.
I think the biggest headache for Memphis was the Lakers' size, was the fact that they had Anthony Davis. Okay, well, does Memphis have a better advantage for against the Lakers now because AD's not there anymore? Okay, let's use Denver as an example. Denver's owned the Lakers. They have.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear, well, they only lost by a few.
No,
They've owned the Lakers, right? Okay, well, Luka Doncic is now on the Lakers. However, they used to play the Lakers. They're not going to play them the same way anymore. Right. Does that change because of that dynamic? Like, it's not the best example because Lakers weren't fully healthy, but this is how wildly different the team is. Lakers played the Clippers, what was it, a week ago, a week and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah.
They played Zubats off the court. Zubats, when AD was there, had 20 and 20.
Right.
It's just completely different. So, like, we don't have any data to look at the Lakers versus some of these other teams other than what the next 8 weeks are going to look like before they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's so exciting. I mean, I heard someone talking about from Vegas in terms of gambling. Like, the Lakers worry them the most because what you were just saying is, you
said, say that again. The Lakers what?
The sports books in Vegas. I heard someone talking about how the bets on the Lakers worry them the most because they haven't seen this team. They know what the Celtics are. They know what the Cavs are. They know what Denver is. The Lakers could go in there and light it up and go on an absolute tear. And there's been so much money coming in on the Lakers on future bets kind of because of that. If you're going to take a team in the Western Conference that's not Oklahoma City, might as well take a shot on the Lakers because they've been winning a bunch of games. Luka has, second to Michael Jordan in terms of playoff points per game in his playoff career. I mean, him and LeBron, that's going to be a tough out for any team, even if they don't have size. It is fun, and I can't wait to see the postseason. It doesn't feel, though, like even taking Oklahoma City, even taking Cleveland, any of these teams, it doesn't feel like there's a Warriors with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry in them where one team is so far ahead of everyone 100%. Where it's gonna need to take an injury or someone. I could see the Lakers beating any team in the Western Conference and any team in the Eastern Conference. I could see them losing to some of those teams. I'm not saying that they're just going to go win the title right now, but with this team gelling, I don't know. It's just so exciting that we've gone from a month ago, kind of the same old script. Are you going to go lose to Denver again and hope that it's different sometime over a 7-game series? Well, now we don't know. Now we have this kind of bright future, and who knows what the postseason brings.
Yeah, I think that's the part is just we have such little information about the Lakers. We have such little information. And stylistically, the way they've been for the last 5-6 years is completely different of what it's going to look moving forward. And I think what you said too, and you know what, you're right. Maybe there is some disrespect towards the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm with you. I think there is. I mean, they've been just unbelievable. And all they're doing is just winning games. But anytime you have a team that's still that young, that only has one playoff, year of experience in them, I think you're always going to have that hesitation until they get over the hump. And then once they get over the hump, then it's going to be like, yeah, it's the Thunder. You know what I mean? Like, if the Thunder get to the NBA Finals this year and just kind of, let's just say hypothetically, right? To get to the NBA Finals, they beat Minnesota, then they beat the Lakers, and they beat Denver in the Western Conference Finals. Nobody's going to say anything. They're just going to be like, yeah, this is the Thunder's West. But until you kind of see that, I think there's a little bit of hesitation.
Yeah, and I mean, last year, Alan, I remember listening to all the post-game shows and the preview videos, and we talk off camera and be like, all right, well, hopefully the Lakers don't find Denver. And if they don't find Denver, maybe they have a path and someone else takes out Denver. I don't feel the same way. I feel like there's a shot that the Lakers could beat any team in the Western Conference, and they have a real chance to, and not, again, they need an injury or they need some crazy performance from a guy that we haven't seen it this year. So, looking in the comments, everyone's excited about the playoffs. I'm assuming everyone stays healthy. I am just so excited about what the NBA postseason brings, unlike other years where I felt like there was kind of a cap on how far the Lakers could go.
All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.